Welcome to the Alive Loren Podcast, and the place of celebrating juicy, soulful, whole living, the joy of being alive, just in connecting to an ecstasy of gratitude for everything that it is to be here, and just being like so blown away by, oh my God, I actually get for doing nothing. There's nothing I have done, but yet in every moment there is just like infinite amounts of things going on so many different levels to make every moment possible. Wow. Living from a place of like just more awe and gratitude for the wonderment that is this experience. So my jumping to a me conclusion, oh my Lord. Such a beautiful lesson. So I'm like facilitating a group, right, where I just realized, like, since it started, not intentionally, I've just landed up every time like being the person facilitating the group, sort of holding space or kind of gently guiding. So then I get a message from somebody saying that, can they give me feedback? They wanted to chat. So, oh my Lord, you know where I went? Immediately, it was about me. It was that I am not doing something right. There's something I'm doing wrong. That was the immediate place I went to of like, oh my God, I didn't allow a person enough, or they're upset about something, or there's something I need to do better. That literally was the default. So then it's not working out, this coordinating a time to speak, and I'm inviting like a voice note. And in the meantime, it's making me remember the gift of like, wow, I just noticing a bit of self-awareness, self-reflection, just completely unconsciously have been taking this like driver's seat, and I haven't checked in with anyone. So maybe it's a thank you for this reminder. I'm going to check in with everybody, ask, we're very welcome. We can circulate it between us if anyone's happy with me. Oh, and then the biggest thing of all is, when I actually like managed to connect to this person, it had nothing to do with me. It was all on their side. It was something personal, like just something in terms of their sort of relating to the work or the group that they were sharing. And that's actually why they wanted to chat, because they felt like it was so personal to them that they wanted to have a voice-to-voice connection. And it was completely the opposite. It was like, oh my God, the number of times, how many times are we jumping to a me conclusion when it has nothing to do with us? Oh, so that was absolutely like beautiful lesson. I mean, not in my wildest dreams. So insane. Like, what about the other person? The world does not revolve around moi. And yet this was such an amazing example of how the default is that. My default wiring was that it revolves around me as the center. So very humbling. I don't know if I mentioned, but last week, so there was like a fast on the Jewish calendar, and I did a dry fast and led into like a wet fast for a couple of days, but very gently. It wasn't like me setting this massive target that no matter what, I'm going to cross that finish line of X number of days. It was like, no, just listen to our body. And body was very happy for 2 days of water, and then body decided it's time to eat. But the magical, wonderful gift of fasting. Again, we return to the theme of the gift of scarcity, where scarcity is looked at lack, of not having, but actually scarcity gives the most beautiful blessings. So this reframe that things are not as dual as they seem, or maybe not dual at all. So now one thing I love about fasting is how much it heightens my appreciation, oh my God, for the appreciation of eating, of placing food in my mouth and being able to move it around with my tongue and feel the texture and the taste and the flavors and the juices. When I eat after a fast, my God, it's like the most amazing experience. And it's something that just so taken for granted. And without that gap of not the pleasure, that's possible just from eating. I also love that there's this like just craving for everything whole and wholesome that afterwards it like resets something. just in wanting actual, real, earthy food, and how things taste amazing. Love it, love it, love it. And this actually is my very first time. So I understand that people do fasting and have these like insights and these ahas, and it's always been like, well, isn't that nice for you? And a part of me wondering, like, is it ever going to come? Or is that ever part of my experience? So yeah, being happy for other people in their insights through fasting. But this time, wow. Yeah, just having like moments of feeling insights and clarity and just such a sense of gratitude for life and this overwhelming, where in the past I've had these like bitches and moans with God about, I don't understand this and I don't understand that and all these talents and abilities and why can't you show me where I'm supposed to be and blah, 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 blah. And just was overwhelmed with such a sense of gratitude for exactly where I am and like the capacity I have to feel things and how I'm perceiving the world and being so grateful for the point of view I hold, which is all because of everything that's transpired up until now, and this immense sensation of actually not wanting to change a single thing. And it's the first time I've ever experienced or touched any of these places through fasting. So it's just like another thing of just, doing the work. And sometimes, it's just these kind of rewards and bits of touch points that we get along the way. But something else that was really strong and beautiful for me was, this analogy that we've had chatted about being birthed through life, that literally in every moment, not every moment, it's not a perpetual contraction of being birthed, but like when a woman is birthing a child, there are these cycles of the contraction building, and then you breathe and relax as best you can, and it lulls in between. But so equally through our entire lives, we are birthing ourselves. So there are moments of intensity and contraction that you just got to breathe and relax and do your best to get through, because they're not going away and they're going to repeat themselves. And it gets better at dealing with the contraction as opposed to the contractions going away. And, I've had this most beautiful imagery of literally my own inner doula. And it's been transformative. Like I've been at work feeling like waves of, I've just noticed also at work, like that default of I'm doing something wrong, of, oh my God, I'm not doing enough, I haven't done enough this week, someone's going to find out I haven't finished something. And I just had this inner doula, like, breathe, Lauren, just breathe, just in, out, you can do this, you got this, you can do this, you got this. This smiling, gentle, like hand on my back, on my shoulder, doula, inner doula. And it's been so wonderful to play with that imagery of like getting into these moments of feeling intense, like overwhelm or stress or whatever it is, and just breathe and imagine this voice of this inner doula saying, Lauren, just breathe, breathe. In, out, you've got this, just focus here, focus now, you can do this. Oh, I'm very, very, very grateful, and I would highly recommend playing with the imagery of your own inner doula. Just imagine them there, coaching you through, and anxious just like to breathe and relax. And then this theme also of like the present, of being present. That it feels like the more present we can be, that actually the little whispers of insight and everything, like it whispers in the present, and actually the voice of the future and the past are very loud. And if we're too much in the future and the past, those voices are so loud, they drown out the whispers of the present. So it's actually, being present, there's a magic to the whispers, as opposed to the loud, booming noise of the future and the past. And my last little share for today, I mentioned about improv the other day and how I got broken up into listening to someone deeply with gestures, emotions, and content. And that was also something I wanted to take out into my life, into the world. That how divine to actually pay more attention, even to ourselves and to people, and notice. Not just listen for everything. Pay attention and like connect to someone and notice and honor their movements, their gestures, their tone of voice, what are they feeling, how are they, this actual content of what they're sharing, and to connect to someone on all those levels and give them that degree of attention. Oh, So precious heart, there are so many variants of what I've shared today. I don't think I'm going to be able to do some sort of summary in the closing blessing for this share. But here is yes, the gift of scarcity and the appreciation that comes from actually the not having. Oh, so divine to actually just open up to seeing the beautiful, beautiful side of scarcity. And oh my Lord, may we take ourselves in hand and jump to less me conclusions. And here is to present tuning into the whispers of the present and playing with the imagery of an inner doula to guide and coach us through those intense moments, and to listening to people and seeing their gestures, their sounds, their stories, their movements. Happy adventuring, precious heart, until we meet again. Mwah.